song. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Oh Hari Bol, 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 Gaur Nityananda Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gaur Nityananda Bol, Gaur Shri Advaita Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gaur Shri Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Mukunda Madhava Govinda Keshava Madhava Hari Hari Mukunda Madhava Govinda Keshava Madhava Hari Hari Keshava Madhava Hari Hari Keshava Madhava Hari Hari Mukunda Madhava Govinda Mukunda Hari Bol, 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 Lecture? Yes. Okay. Give me a stand, it's too heavy. I'm very weak to hold this for 1 hour. Some announcement, something, yeah? Yes.
please accept my humble obeisances. The Grace of Divine Organization takes great honor in welcoming you all to the first night of Srimad Bhagavad Gita Katha. We are ever blessed and fortunate to be here and to listen to the glories and greatness of the Gita, a scripture that was manifested by the Lord Himself. In this age of Kali Yuga, where we are met in the conditions of birth, death, disease, and old age, the only remedy, the only source of Satchidananda or bliss is attained when we're engaged in the loving service of the Lord. To deliver the eminence and to enlighten us of the divine nectar of the Gita, with utmost respect, I introduce to you Sripad Bhaktivedanta Siddhanti Maharaj. Maharaj was born on November of 1972. In 1997, he met his spiritual master, Srila Bhakti Pramoda Puri Goswami Maharaj, and took full refuge in his lotus feet. After Srila Bhakti Pramoda Puri Goswami Maharaj went into the eternal pastimes of the divine couple, Sri Radha Krishna, Maharaj took shelter from Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayana Goswami Maharaj in November of 1999. In November of 2010, Srila Gurudev gave sannyasa and Maharaj was then given the name Swami Bhaktivedanta Siddhanti Maharaj. Since then, Maharaj has been traveling the diaspora to proclaim the messages of the Lord in the form of Hari Katha. He's a scholar in the ancient Vedic literatures and give accessible teachings for both the youth and the elderly. On behalf of Durga Temple, Sai Gurukul, we welcome Maharaj, and may we all grasp the Amrit of the Srimad Bhagavad Gita in total ecstasy, and may our hearts and souls be even closer to our Lord. Hare Krishna.
I was trying to hide my birth date, but she revealed. And I'm sure this has been done by Ramanath Prabhu. Okay. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjan Shalakaya Chakshurum litam yena tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Guruve Gauri Chandraya Radhikaya Stadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyaiva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnebhyo namo namaha. Ajanulambito bhajo kanakvadato sankirtane kapitro kamala yataksho vishambaro dujvaro yugdharma palo Vande Jagat Priya Karo Karuna Yavataro. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagat Pate Gopesh Gopikant Radha Kanta Namostute. Tapta Kanchan Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye. Bhaktya Vihinaya Parad Lakshai Shiptasya Kamadhitarang Madhe Kripamai Tam Sharanam Prapanna Vrinde Namaste Charanarvindam Vrinde Namaste Charanarvindam. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar, Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Everybody together. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you. First of all, I pay my humble obeisances at the lotus feet of my spiritual master, Nitya Leela Vishnu, Om Vishnu Par Stotra Shad, Shri Srimad Bhakti Pramod Puri Goswami Maharaj, and similarly to my Shiksha Gurudevs, Nitya Leela Om Vishnu Par Stotra Shad Bhakti Vedanta Shila Narayan Goswami Maharaj, and Nitya Leela Om Vishnu Par Bhakti Vigyan Shila Bharti Goswami Maharaj. My humble obeisance to the lotus feet of my all friends are Nitla Vishnu Vishnupal Bhakti Pragyan Keshu Gosai Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Daita Madhav Gosai Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Raksha Shridhar Gosai Maharaj, and to Shri Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj, who propagated Krishna consciousness and the teachings of Bhagavad Gita as it is in Western world and in Eastern world. To all disciples of Bhakti Siddhanta, Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, and all associates of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, to all assembled Vaishnav and Vaishnavis and respected guests, thank you so much for, and the temple management, thank you so much for hosting this evening program here. All of our Pujarijis, Panditjis here. I'm very grateful from bottom of my heart that in the middle of so many demigods here, we are having the darshan, and the topic is given Bhagavad Gita, because very soon we are going to observe the advent of Bhagavad Gita very soon on 14th January, right? 14th December. I wanted to see who's alert. So it's the 14th January. So, very interesting topic. I'm just coming from India, just 2 days back, and was very busy speaking from Srimad Bhagavatam. So there was like 7-day session of Srimad Bhagavatam, and it happened to be for like 1 month. I was busy in that. Many people, what to speak of Western world, even in India, they're not familiar with what is difference between Srimad Bhagavatam and Sri Bhagavad Gita. Like we hear Bhagavad Saptaha, 7 days of Srimad Bhagavatam Katha. So many times I hear from devotees, from people saying, oh, when are you going to do Bhagavad Gita Saptaha? So then I explain them, it's not Bhagavad Gita Saptaha, it's Bhagavatam Saptaha. So it's one and the same thing. No, there's difference. Bhagavad Gita is what Krishna spoke, and Bhagavatam is what Krishna does. Means all the pastimes of Krishna and his incarnations have been narrated in Srimad Bhagavatam, whereas Bhagavad Gita is a transcendental song sung by Krishna 5,000 years back. Where? Anyone? Which place? New York? Queens? Bronx? In India, right?
Yes.
In India and Punjab?
No.
Delhi? Gujarat? Kurukshetra. Yes. In Kurukshetra, which is also known as Dharam Kshetra. And that's the first verse of Bhagavad Gita. Dharam Kshetre Kurukshetre Samveta Yuyusava Mamakaha Pandakcheva Kim Akurva Sanjaya. The song sung by Krishna at Kurukshetra 5,000 years back. And what was happening in Kurukshetra? Any festival? It was battle. In a battlefield of Kurukshetra, Bhagavad Gita is spoken. One cannot sing when there is a battle. Right? If there is war, and if there is fight, who's going to sing about fight? The mode of ignorance is so prominent when there is a fight, a quarrel, or a battle. But in the middle of that fight, which is not an ordinary fight, that's Dharma Yuddha. The fight for Dharma. And who is the director of this fight? Director, composer, producer, financer. Everything is Krishna. And who won the battle? Pandavas? No. Krishna. Who defeated the enemy party? It's only Krishna. Everything is Krishna. So, in simple words, the song sung by Krishna in the battlefield of Kurukshetra is called Gita. Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad means Bhagwan. And who is Bhagwan? Just made by the word Bhagavad Gita, everyone understands and everyone knows it is spoken by Krishna. So that means who is Bhagwan? Krishna. Krishnastu Bhagwan Swayam. Shiva, Hanuman, Durga Devi, and all respected demigod and goddesses, they have not spoken Bhagavad Gita. Krishna spoke that. Therefore, the title is Bhagavad Gita. So, hence proof. Who is Bhagavad? Who is Bhagwan? Krishna, Anadir Adir Govind, Sarva Karanam Karanam. One who is the cause of all causes. The cause of all demigods. 33 million demigods. The cause of all incarnations. And the cause of every cause. And this is claimed by Brahma in Brahm Samhita. Do we have Brahmaji here? Anywhere? Yes, we have Brahmaji there. Yes. How many heads?
Three here, we show three only.
4. Brahmaji has 4 heads. Known of 4 Vedas. So what essence he proclaimed in Brahm Samhita, the words spoken by Brahmaji, claiming who is Bhagwan. All demigods, they approach Brahma to seek protection or help or advice. So Brahmaji being leader of everyone, he proclaims in his own Samhita, saying, Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha Anadir Adir Govindaha Sarva Karanam Karanam. Ishvara Parama Krishna. There are many Ishwars. Narsingh Bhagwan, Varaha, Parshuram, Shriram, they all are Ishwars, no doubt. But there has to be one Param Ishwar. Not the incarnation, but the source of incarnation. And who's that? I'm not saying this. Brahmaji is saying after studying the Vedas 3 times, Bhagwan Brahma Karshan Triri Avikshana. Bhagavatam says 3 times he gone through the Vedas. And what he is saying? Ishwa Parama Krishna. Krishna is Param Ishwar and the cause of all causes. Brahmaji further said in 10th canto Bhagavatam, Janantam eva janantam ke bhavakta name prabhu. If anyone say that I understood the opulence of Krishna, or I can measure the opulence of Krishna, or I can describe the opulence of Krishna, I can narrate the opulence of Krishna, I have known the opulence of Krishna, let them speak. I don't believe. But I, Brahma, I can say, Manushu Vapucho Vachaha Vaibhavam Tava Gocharam. I, Brahma, cannot count the opulence of Krishna. Cannot. Because there's endless opulence of Krishna and endless sweetness of Krishna. So, Bhagavad Gita. This introduction we need to know right in the beginning. What is the importance and who is speaking Bhagavad Gita? Not an ordinary personality, but Bhagwan. Krishnastu Bhagwan Swayam. Srimad Bhagavatam says. Krishna being Swayam Bhagwan. So Bhagavad and then Gita. Very interesting. All of you familiar with Gita, right? Gita means song. Then why we use the word Gita? We all know Bhagavad Gita is the song sung by Krishna. But the word song in Hindi or Sanskrit is called Geet. Can you sing a Geet? A song? But Bhagavad Gita is not Geet, it is Gita. What is the significance of Ta? Why not is Geet and why it is Gita? Understand my point? It's a question, huh? Interesting. We can say Bhagavad Gita. No. It's Bhagavad Gita. Like in Srimad Bhagavatam, there are 5 Gita, 5 songs sung by the gopis. Brahmar Gita, Gopi Gita, Yugal Gita, Pranay Gita, and also the queens of Dwarika. They sung a song called Mahishi Gita. There the word is not Gita, it is Gita. But why when Krishna's singing this is known as Bhagavad Gita, which is a part and portion of Mahabharata. Mahabharata is elaborate, very elaborate scripture, very interesting scripture. Everyone's supposed to read this. In Mahabharata, there's a chapter called Bhishma Parva. And a portion of that Bhishma Parva is Bhagavad Gita. So Gita. When the suffix is added to the word ta, means a, the long a, Gita, it has significance. Ta means tran. Like we know mantra. What is the meaning mantra? When the word tra is used in the end, the tra means tran. Tran means deliverance. Mantra. Those words which helps us to control the urges of mind is called mantra. Man means mind and tra means tran, means delivering the mind. Understand? Mantra. That's why Gita. Ta means deliverance. In other words, the song of the Supreme Lord for deliverance. For his deliverance? No. There's no need for Krishna to get delivered. Yeah, this is an important point. Many people say this. Anyone who comes in this material world have to go through all those sufferings and troubles, even if it is Ram or Krishna. Because this is material world. And the nature of material world is full of suffering. Dukhalyam ashashvat. This is a house of sufferings. So no matter who comes here, even Lord Ram has to go through so much troubles. Even Krishna has to go through so much troubles. Because that's the nature of material world. But no. When Supreme Lord and His associates, they descend in this material world, they are not subject to any punishment like we. But for them this is a playful pastime. Their playful pastime is for our deliverance. And they come to this material world only for this purpose, to deliver us. So any words or statements given by those great personalities is meant for deliverance and to establish dharma. Bhagavad Gita says, Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata. Whenever there is decline of dharma, I come to reestablish dharma. That means, hence proved in this statement of Krishna saying, I come to establish dharma. That means, only Supreme Lord can come and establish dharma. Not great singers or movie stars or any political person can establish dharma. Yeah. They come, they get changed every 3 years, 5 years. Any political party establish one principle, the other party come and then change the other principle. But the principle of Bhagavad Dharma, which is established by Bhagwan himself, no one can overrule that. And it is the same, which is coming from ages. As Krishna told Arjun, Bhagavad Gita, the Gyan, the knowledge which I am giving you is not something new. I have given this ages back to Vishwasvan. And is coming in the lineage from him to Manu and then Surya. But because during the course of time it got lost, so I am giving you again, I am reviving this. Not that I am establishing this again, but I am just reviving this again to you because it got lost during the course of time. Understand? Next point. Not for the deliverance of Krishna. They come to establish dharma, for us to follow that dharma. So they are not subject to the turbulence or the sufferings of this material world, whereas we are all subject to this. The reason being, we are always in these 3 modes of nature. Mode of goodness, passion and ignorance. Whereas Bhagwan is beyond 3 modes of nature. He is in a nirguna state. Beyond 3 modes of nature. There is no ignorance, there is no passion, and there is also no goodness. It's a nirguna state. Therefore, only those who are in that state of consciousness or established in that can only and only establish dharma. Therefore, those in ignorance can establish dharma? No. Those in passion can establish dharma? Cannot. Even those who are in the mode of goodness cannot establish dharma. Because again that is material modes of nature. This material modes of nature. But anyone who is beyond three modes of nature, even beyond mode of goodness, he is only qualified to establish dharma. Therefore Krishna, Anadir Adir Govinda. The cause of all causes, he is the one who has established this dharma, Bhagavad Gita. The song for deliverance, not only for Arjun. Arjun was only a media. Okay, if we say Krishna spoke Bhagavad Gita to Arjun, no, he spoke Bhagavad Gita to all of us. But taking Arjun as only an instrument. Arjun is only an instrument because Arjun is very dear and near an associate of Krishna. And Krishna has relationship with Arjun. We have no relationship with Krishna. Therefore Krishna spoke Bhagavad Gita to us. Only Arjun is an instrument. In a similar way, Srimad Bhagavatam Mahapuran, which is the form of Krishna. There's so much similarities between Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. So many similarities. Those verses spoken by Krishna to Arjun in Bhagavad Gita, the elaborate version of those verses we see in Srimad Bhagavatam also. There's a very deep connection between Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. Therefore, Bhagavad Gita, as Acharya explains, is for primary level. Srimad Bhagavatam is for secondary level. But Bhagavad Gita is not only for primary level. Because everything is present in Bhagavad Gita. All the tattvas and all the ras vichar is also present in Bhagavad Gita. If anyone only just reading Bhagavad Gita without the guidance of Vaishnavas cannot understand the insight of Bhagavad Gita. Like a bee moving around the honey bottle can understand there is honey, can realize there is honey, but cannot taste honey. If someone open the lid and then bee enter in the bottle and suck honey, the taste honey, can relish honey. Therefore, if we just read Bhagavad Gita with our own intelligence, without any guidance of Acharyas or Vaishnavas, we cannot go into the details, insight of Bhagavad Gita, cannot taste what Krishna is saying in Bhagavad Gita. So therefore, very important to take guidance and shelter and hear Bhagavad Gita from realized souls. Therefore, our Srila Gurudev, who is Yuga Acharya, the Acharya of this Yuga, Shri Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, he took those verses from Bhagavad Gita and gave a detailed explanation, the commentaries of our Acharyas, with his own commentaries to simplify, to make us understand the in-depth, in detail of Bhagavad Gita. There are so many versions of Bhagavad Gita available in the entire world. I think it's more than 800. In India itself is more than 400. Because any institution who start preach, take Bhagavad Gita as the foundation. taking the words of Krishna and what they understand according to what their perspective is, they start commenting, this is what Krishna wanted to say. So many of them, they promote karma. Many of them, they promote jnana. And very few can understand bhakti. Because 18th chapter of Bhagavad Gita is karma yoga, jnana yoga and bhakti yoga. So everyone has their own perspective. According to me, Krishna actually is saying karma yoga is superior. According to me, Krishna wants to say jnana yoga is superior. According to me. But one of our Acharya, Srimad Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, who came to New York and he preached the teachings of Bhagavad Gita. Not just Bhagavad Gita, but Bhagavad Gita as it is. That's something very special. Bhagavad Gita as it is. There's no change in the philosophy and the idea and the ideals, but exactly what Krishna wanted to say, exactly, has been mentioned in this great book, Bhagavad Gita as it is. How many of you have Bhagavad Gita? Hi, please. Yes. How many of you read Bhagavad Gita? Yes. Very nice. Because ekam shastram devki putra gitam. Shastra Bhagavad Gita spoken by Devki Putra Krishna. Devki Nandan Krishna. There are two Krishnas. Devki Nandan Krishna and Yashoda Nandan Krishna. And who spoke Bhagavad Gita? Ekam Shastram Devki Putra Gitam. The only Shastra which is the essence of Bhagavad Gita and also one of Upanishad, Gita Upanishad, which is sung by Devki Nandan Krishna, the son of Devaki. You know? And in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Janma karma chame divyam evam yaveti tatvata. My janma, my birth and my karma means my activities are divya, transcendental. Because the birth of Devaki Nandan Krishna was divya, transcendental. The son of Devaki means Krishna, who appeared in the prison house of Kamsa. The birth of Krishna in the prison house of Kamsa is not from the womb of Devaki. He appeared not as ordinary birth from the womb of mother. He just appeared 16-year young boy with 4 hands and carrying conch, etc. Shankh, Chakra, Gada, Padma. That's why he's saying, Janma karma chame divyam. My birth and my activities are transcendental, beyond understanding. Whereas the Janma of Krishna, Yashoda Nandan Krishna, is natural. As a boy take birth from the womb of mother. So Yashoda Nandan Krishna, one who took birth in Gokul from the womb of Mother Yashoda, his Janma is not strange. His Janma, his birth was very simple and ordinary like. I mean natural, from the womb of mother. But Devaki Nandan Krishna, he just appeared in the prison house. 16-year young boy. That's why it's Divya. So Ekam Shastram Devaki Putra Gitam. the son of Devaki, recited Bhagavad Gita. Understand? These are some very detailed foundation points to be known before we start understanding. And we're going to hear more in these consecutive days of programs in different locations for Bhagavad Gita. We are preparing ourselves to understand the insight of Bhagavad Gita. Understand? So, Dharam Kshetre Kurukshetre Samveta Yuyusava Mamakaha Pandav Sheva Kim Akurva Sanjaya. Very first verse of Bhagavad Gita, right? Starting with a question mark. Starting with a question. Dhritarashtra Vachaha. Dhritarashtra said, "O Sanjaya," Sanjay, who imparted with that transcendental vision, who's sitting with Dhritarashtra, and this transcendental vision was given by Srila Vedvyasji to Sanjay, so that he can see what's going on in the battlefield of Kurukshetra, and he can recite as it is to Dhritarashtra. Dhritarashtra was blind. So he asked a very strange question. Imagine, Bhagavad Gita starts with a question. And actually, all Vaishnava philosophy starts with a question. Many of you must be familiar with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Sanatana Goswami Pad. Yes? When Sri Sanatana Goswami, a great saint, those who don't know, from Vrindavan, 500 years back, when he met Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is Krishna, Sanatana Goswami Pad asked this question, Ami ke, who am I? Isn't it strange? If you're walking in the street and you stop someone and say, excuse me, can you tell me what? Who am I? The person will think you are off. What is this strange question? Who am I? But the same question in spiritual world has so much gravity. The philosophy starts from this question. Who am I? And answers to all this philosophy and question is spoken by Krishna in Bhagavad Gita. I'm not this body, I'm this soul. So Bhagavad Gita starts with a question. Just like there's Purv Mimamsa and there's Uttar Mimamsa. So anyway, this is going very detailed. So Dhritarashtra is asking a very strange question. Can you imagine? He's aware what's happening in Kurukshetra, which is Dharma Kshetra. Why Kurukshetra is known as Dharma Kshetra? Because Parshuram, you heard Parshuram? He killed 21 times, divide the planet Earth from those miscreant kings, those sinful kings, 21 times. Divide the planet Earth from the Kshatriyas. Imagine. Parshuram being born Brahmin, but he acted like Kshatriya. He took axe and he chopped off all those Kshatriyas 21 times. And after that he performed 5 very, very elaborate, strong yajnas. Where? At this place, Kurukshetra. Since then, this place is known as Dharma Kshetra. Because Parshuram, he performed these yajnas at Kurukshetra. So that's why Dhritarashtra is in dilemma and is confusion. The meaning of the verse says, "Oh Sanjay, can you describe me? What's happening in Kurukshetra? What my sons and sons of Pandavas are doing there? Why they're assembled there? And what they are doing there? Isn't it strange? Dhritarashtra, don't he know why his sons and the sons of Pandavas assemble at Kurukshetra? For what? To hug each other? To celebrate some occasion? Or is there any party? For what reason they are assembled? Fight. To fight. Then why Dhritarashtra asked this question? Sanjay, can you explain to me why they are there? For what reason they are there? Why he asked this question? This is called insight of Bhagavad Gita. We just read Bhagavad Gita and that's it. From upper level study. But there is something which is called in-depth study. And we can't understand this because our consciousness is contaminated with three modes of nature. Therefore, we have to take shelter of those transcendental personalities who are beyond three modes of nature. And they are explaining each and every verse, the meaning of each and every verse, why Krishna spoke this, why Arjuna asked this, what is the reason for Krishna to speak this, and what are the circumstances. So, considering each and every factors and considerations, it's not that Krishna is just singing without any reason. In just 1 hour 30 minutes, approx, Bhagavad Gita was spoken. 700 verses. Bhagavad Gita. Srimad Bhagavatam is 18,000 verses. Bhagavad Gita is 700 verses. So the entire Bhagavad Gita is not what Krishna spoke. There's something which Dhritarashtra spoke, Sanjaya spoke, Arjuna spoke. And then Krishna also spoke. So almost approx 1 hour 30 minutes. Entire Bhagavad Gita. With so many considerations. Time, place, circumstance. What I am speaking today is from one perspective. But there are so many other perspectives. Because Bhagavad Gita is not an ordinary Shastra. So why Dhritarashtra ask this question? What my sons and sons of Pandavas, they are doing there. For what reason? Because he has a doubt. What doubt? Kurukshetra is Dharam Kshetra. Understand? Everyone understand Dharam Kshetra? Kurukshetra is Dharam Kshetra. So I am doubtful. What if my sons in this territory of Dharam Kshetra, Kurukshetra, they are there for fight to get there, to preserve their kingdom. But what if their mind will get changed? Being in that territory, which is Dharma Kshetra. There is so much significance of territory in the land where we are, where we stay or where we are wandering. So much significance. As you might have heard of, prior to Shri Ram took birth, the story of Shravan Kumar. Shravan Kumar, have you heard? A young boy, he used to carry his parents on a palanquin. His mother blind mother and father on a palanquin. And Shravan Kumar, he brought his parents to one kingdom where his mind got totally changed. And he started shouting at his parents. Why am I wasting my young age in serving you old people? This is the age to enjoy. I'm taking you all those places of pilgrimage, because he was taking on a palanquin and taking them all the places of pilgrimage. Why am I spoiling my youth in serving you? I cannot. I have taken care of so many years. Now it's my personal life. So I'm leaving you here. Father understood why Shravan Kumar is saying like that. So he said, Shravan, we are so grateful and thankful that you served for so many years. We release you from this obligation. But just one last service can you perform for us? Just last. We're not going to ask anything more than that. He said, yes, come on. What is that last? Then the father said, can you cross this river and keep us on the other side of the river? He said, okay, but that will be my last service. So he took on palanquin his parents, mother and father, and he crossed river, and when he came to the other side of the river, that land, that territory, he was thinking, I'm so sinful. What's happening to my mind, to my brain? My parents gave me birth. This body belongs to them. I'm supposed to serve them. And I was serving them. But what happened to my mind? Why I was so sinful rejecting them? And why I got changed after crossing this river and coming to this land? Then the father smiled and he said, because of the influence of the land. The king of that land, he was not pious, he was impious king. And his influence was prevailing there, and that's why your brain got contaminated with different thoughts. But this land is very important and significant and pure, because the king of this land is Dashrath Maharaj, who is a religious king, who always followed dharma, the path of dharma. So there is so much significance of land. Imagine, there's so much influence. Some places make us, even if we don't want, make us indulge into a mode of ignorance. Some places makes us passionate. Some areas gives us very good feel of spirituality, and then it gives us or facilitate us with the mode of goodness. But anyone who visits Vrindavan Dham, Dhanya Vrindavantena Yat Bhakti Nitaiti Cha. If you come to Vrindavan Dham, the abode of not only Krishna, the abode of Bhakti Maharani. She dances there. Vrindavan Dham. Please come to Vrindavan Dham. But flight got cancelled till 31st January. After that, maybe. If you come Vrindavan Dham, this is mentioned in Bhagavatam. Bhakti Maharani, personification Bhakti. She danced in Vrindavan Dham. It's beyond 3 modes of nature. Beyond. And all the pastimes of Krishna with the Brajavasis, the inhabitants of Vrindavan, is also beyond three modes of nature. The understanding of being in Vrindavan is also beyond three modes of nature. Everything is nirguna. Everything. In the same sequence, the words of Krishna is also beyond three modes of nature. And facilitating us to go beyond three modes of nature by reading Bhagavad Gita as it is. Not with someone's mind perspective, but from the perspective of transcendental personalities. Transcendental personalities. Therefore, Dhritarashtra was in doubt. I don't want to lose my kingdom. And I very well know the nature of my sons, headed by Duryodhana and Durshasana. I'm very much familiar with the nature. What if they come to Kurukshetra and their mind get changed? What if they surrender themselves to Pandavas, saying that, oh, we don't want fight. This kingdom belongs to you, your father. What if Duryodhana will change and he will surrender everything to Yudhishthira? That was a doubt in the head of Dhritarashtra. This is what he was thinking. Because Dharam Kshetre Kurukshetre. This is the words he started with. Oh Sanjaya, what my sons are doing there? Indirectly he wanted to ask, what if they get changed? Or if they are changing there? Tell me what's happening. Tell me what's happening. And then Sanjay started explaining everything. That's the beginning of Bhagavad Gita. By the way, what time I have to end? It's 8:10 now. What's the time limit? No limit? 8 a.m. p.m. to a.m. Okay, maybe on 14th. Okay, just 10 more minutes. Bhagavad Gita not only describes the opulence of Krishna, but also the sweetness of Krishna. Bhagavad Gita is also known as promises of Krishna because his Satya Sankalpa is all truth. What he speaks is all truth. He is the embodiment of all truth. And therefore Srimad Bhagavatam starts with Satyam Param Dhimahi, meditating on the ultimate truth. Meditating on ultimate truth. Satyam. When Krishna was in the womb of Mother Devaki, in the prison house of Kamsa in Mathura, then all the demigods came there and they start glorifying and paying obeisance to the womb of Devaki. And paying obeisances, glorifying Krishna, the Supreme Lord, who was present in the womb of Devaki. And what demigod is saying there? Satya Vratam Satya Param Tri Satyam Satasya Yonim Nihitinta Satyam Satasya Satyam Riti Netra Satyam Satya Atmatam Sharanam Prabhu. Describing the Supreme Lord as Satya Vratam, means all his vows are Satya, all truth. His truth in all ages, in all times, past, present, future. So means Krishna is all truth. Therefore the promises of Krishna in Bhagavad Gita is all truth. What is the point, or what was the matter or point from where Krishna started speaking Bhagavad Gita. It's not that just in the beginning he started speaking, okay, Arjun, listen to me. No. Only when he saw Arjun is bewildered. Only when he saw Arjun is bewildered. And when Arjun surrendered himself to Krishna and wanted to hear from Krishna, seeing Arjun as idle recipient and seeing his surrendered mood, that point on, Krishna started speaking, which is known as Bhagavad Gita. And what is that point? Arjun got bewildered. Now this is again a confusion amongst many people. Arjun cannot get bewildered. He is eternal associate of Krishna. But Krishna made Arjun bewildered. Otherwise, we would have been bereft of hearing Bhagavad Gita or to know Bhagavad Gita for our deliverance, Gita. Krishna made Arjun bewildered with his potency, the eternal potency, Yog Maya. And Arjun said, Keshav, I don't want to fight. I don't want to fight. Because I don't want to kill my brothers. I don't want to kill my uncles. I don't want to kill my teachers. Rather, I would just go, I don't want kingdom. On the point of killing them, just killing my own relatives and to enjoy the kingdom, I don't want this. Because Arjun is devotee, he is very renounced. This shows his mood. He is righteous. He is righteous. Duryodhana is not. Arjun said, rather I will just go door to door and beg some alms and just survive on that. But I don't want to kill my brothers, my teachers, etc. to enjoy the kingdom. Yes? So impressive words. But by hearing this verse of Arjun, Krishna is kind of chastised him. Klebhyam ma samagama partha. You think you are a very learned person. You speaking like Pandita. One who speak wisdom is called Pandit, right? By hearing this verse of Arjun, even we can understand. He is very simple, sober, down to earth, very humble. But this is our understanding. Krishna's understanding, his perspective is totally different. And he chastised Arjun for this. And that's the difference between our understanding and Krishna. If anyone comes to us and we say, oh, you are right. Arjun, you are right. No need to kill your relatives. Better you just survive on some begging alms here and there. What is there to enjoy kingdom? You are very right, Arjun. Salute. But Krishna said, no. Gatasun agatasun cha nanu shojanti pandita. You speaking like a learned person. Pandita means, Pandit is not just a pujari in the temple. Pandit is one who is learned in the scriptures, in the realizations of the scriptures, the insight of the scriptures. I'm not saying, Krishna is saying in Bhagavad Gita, Nanu Shoshanti Pandita. Even though appear like you speaking like a Pandit, a learned person, but you lamenting for those who never dies. You lamenting and speaking like a learned person. This is controversial. It's not compatible. Pandit never lament. That called symptoms. The kids, sometimes they don't want to go to school. And that's why they tell their parents, I'm headache, can't go, I have fever. And the parents, they are very much familiar of their lives. And they check, hey, nothing is wrong with you. Go school? No, I have fever, mom, I can't go school. The mom touched, no fever. Because they want to sleep more. So parents, they know the symptoms. Everything is known by symptoms. I have flu, but you're not sneezing, you're not coughing, nothing. And you say you have flu. Some lies. So Krishna checked Arjuna on this point. Symptoms. You speaking like a learned person, your words appear like a words of a learned person, but on the other hand, you're lamenting for those who never dies. Learned person, Pandita is that who understand this concept, who realize this concept, I'm not this body, I'm this soul. And when one comes to this understanding that I'm not this body, I'm soul, then there is no fear, there is no lamentation. And you're lamenting for this. You see how Krishna checked on Arjuna and chastised Arjuna for this and found those symptoms. You're lamenting for them. They are not this body. So, Arjuna got confused. What to do, what not to do. Krishna, okay, sure, what you're saying is 100% correct. But I'm bewildered. What I'm supposed to do, what I'm not supposed to do, I'm totally bewildered. So Krishna, Shishyasteham Shadimam Tam Prapannam. I accept you as my Guru. And I am your disciple. Now you advise me, or you give me that divine knowledge to make me understand where I'm lacking. Arjuna has his bow called Gandhir, very strong. He said, my hands are shaking. That's my favorite bow. I can just lift like this, and Arjuna even defeated Mahadev. Arjuna defeated Parshuram. Arjuna defeated Indra. But today on this battlefield, he said, I'm shaking. So I'm totally confused. Because what I understand, this is right, yes. But what you're saying is also correct. That's the point of confusion comes. My mind says, what I'm doing is 100% correct. And this is according to the morals, the social morals. But what Bhagavad Gita is saying, what my Gurudev is saying, also is correct. But then there is some conflict between what I understand is correct and what my Gurudev is saying is also correct. So when there is this conflict, which side is more potent, more important? What my mind says is correct, or what my Gurudev words are saying correct? In that point of confusion, don't think about your mind. Just completely give up your thoughts and fully surrender to Gurudev. Because he's realized soul. Because he knows the insight of Shastras with maturity. There are many people who know Shastras. They can recite verses, but there is lack of maturity in understanding. And that lack of maturity is because of lack of higher association. Only by reading books, you can't understand. Unless you associate with those who are in practical practices of the service mode of divine personalities. Understand? And there are many examples to prove this. Just like there is a statement called Agya Guru Haya Vicharniya. The order of Guru fulfilling the order of Guru without any consideration. Whatever he orders, 100% follow that. Is that right? Nothing wrong in that. And we have to follow that. But there's another domain, another level of understanding. First, understand the mood of Gurudev and then compare the words of Gurudev and follow accordingly. For example, many of you familiar with this, how our Param Gurudev, he exchanges clothes with his Gurudev, Srila Prabhupada Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Even though he forbade him to do so. Understand the link, the topic what I am touching, those who knows. Srila Prabhupada Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur is even chastising Param Gurudev. What are you doing? But Param Gurudev, is he fulfilling the order of his Gurudev or not? Looks like not. He's exchanging his clothes. He's taking over his sannyas clothes and putting over the white clothes, which is offensive on his Guru Maharaj. So where is this formula? The Shastra says, Agya Guru Hai Avicharniya. Fulfill the order of Guru without any consideration. But Param Gurudev have consideration to fulfilling the order of his Guru Maharaj. This is only one hint I am giving, but there are several examples. Therefore, understanding of scriptures, understanding of Bhagavad Gita also have to be with maturity level. And it cannot be just come by reading, but by association of those who have maturity level. And how they acquired maturity level? From the association of higher personalities, means pure devotees. What Krishna is saying to Arjuna, what are the circumstances? Everything has to be considered, not just the words. What is the place? What is the time? And what is the circumstances? Time, place and circumstance. Krishna claims in Bhagavad Gita, I am the Lord of everyone. Can he claims this in Vrindavan? If he just try to say this, Aham sarvasva prabhavo matta sarvam pravartate iti matta vajanta bhav buddha bhav samanvita. He is saying this in Mahabharata and Kurukshetra. What is the meaning? I am the Lord of everyone, everything emanates from me. Can you say these words in Vrindavan? I am the Lord of everyone, everything emanates from me. The Sakhas, the friends of Krishna, jump on him and say, hey, you are Lord of everyone. And they pull him down and jump on him. Krishna cannot say this there. Time, place, circumstance. Very important. We can't just speak or say anything anywhere. Everything has to be considered. The audience, the place, the circumstance, the topic, etc. Understand? Just like one funny example. In India, there was one family, someone passed, died. The body was there. Relatives were crying and weeping. They asked some singers to come, and everyone was lamenting actually. Serious. So much pathetic mood was there. Imagine what is the circumstances, what is the time. Singers comes here and starts singing, saying, आज बिरज में होली रे रसिया. ऐसे नंद के घर आनंद भयो, जय कन्हैया लाल की. Understand? नंद के घर आनंद भयो. There is आनंद, pleasure in the house of Nanda. बोला नंद के घर आनंद भयो नहीं, नंद के घर गयो. So everything is some significance of place and circumstance. So Arjuna was confused. And Krishna, he didn't spoke a word before, prior to what, when Arjuna surrendered himself to Krishna and saying, Shishyasteham shadimam tam prapannam. Please accept me as your disciple and just tell me what I'm supposed to do. I accept you as my guru. Seeing the surrendered mood of Krishna, Arjuna, surrendered mood, then Krishna starts speaking. Guru have so many different nature of disciples, and his relationship with different disciples are different. One who loves his Gurudev with more than his life and soul, then to that person, his instruction and his words will be different from those who just randomly, just like our Gurudev, when he was in Mathura, in his center, in every year we celebrate Guru Purnima, the day of worshipping one's Gurudev. And thousands of people used to come to offer garland and flowers to Gurudev. And Srila Gurudev used to ask them, oh, okay, are you my disciple? You sure? He said, yes, Gurudev, last year you gave me Harinam. You forgot me. Gurudev said, oh, I never see you. No, because today's Guru Purnima, I'm supposed to worship you. And Gurudev used to make fun of him saying, oh, so once a year? He said, yes. Gurudev was teasing him. Once a year? He said, yes. Gurudev said, very good, very good. Just once a year. How many times you remember your Gurudev? How much love you giving to your Gurudev? How much you are serving your Gurudev? Everything matters. Everything matters. And his reciprocation is also accordingly. Those who are always with him, serving his moods, serving his mission, whatever his instructions, naturally and spontaneously, he have more affection and love to them. And to those who just come once a year to garland him, because that's the etiquette to worship one's Guru on Guru Purnima, which occurs in July. August?
No.
July.
What? No. What? No. It's supposed to be every day, not once a year. Every day. The beginning of the day. As an etiquette, a disciple, when he gets up or she gets up in the morning, very first thing is remembering one's Gurudev. And the day should end before one goes to sleep, at least for 1 second, in his mind or her mind, remembering and paying obeisances to Gurudev. So day starts with a remembrance and ends with a remembrance. In this way one develops love. Yeah. So Arjuna accepted Krishna and not worshipping Krishna once a year, but is always with Krishna. Even though Krishna and Arjuna, they are close friends. But at this moment, Arjuna is establishing a different kind of relationship. Arjuna and Krishna, they both sleep on the same bed. embracing each other. They eat on the same plate. Krishna not only massaged the feet of Arjun, but massaged the feet of the horses of Arjun. When Arjun goes to sleep, Krishna goes out of the camp and sit to guard his friend Arjun. So much intimate relationship. So much intimate. The Supreme Lord is chariot driver of his devotee, of Arjun, his friend. But at this moment, Arjun wants to seek instruction and guidance because he is bewildered. This is not an ordinary battle. They are not, my opponents are not enemies. They are my relatives. They are my uncles. They are my teachers. How am I supposed to fight with my own family? That was his concern. Because Arjun always followed Yudhishthira Maharaj, following the path of dharma. Always righteous. One who is not righteous, then there is no bewilderment. But one who is always following the path of right, dharma, then there is bewilderment. That was the dilemma of Arjun. So when he got totally confused, and when we get totally confused, what we are supposed to do? Shishyasteham shadi mam tam prapannam. Krishna, I am so bewildered. What I am supposed to do? Please help me to understand this. Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. So up to this point, Arjun, this is the beginning of Bhagavad Gita, how Arjun, he surrendered himself to Krishna. Seeing his bewildered state, now Krishna starts speaking Bhagavad Gita. Speaking Gita to Arjun, which we are going to hear again tomorrow. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. One Mahamantra. Sing.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare
special thanks to Roshni Mataji. Where is she? Oh, right there. For arranging this wonderful program and a series of program. We're I'm so much proud of you. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Roshni Mataji ki Jai.